Hi, my name is Shane Wanless. On behalf of Premier Equipment, your salesperson and myself, I'd like to thank you for your recent lawn equipment purchase. We appreciate your business and look forward to continuing our relationship with you into the future. In this short video, we're going to take a look at your new piece of equipment, the operator's manual, service intervals, warranty, and some of the lawn accessories and attachments that are available from Premier Equipment. You should have received an operator's manual with your new purchase. If you did not, please contact your salesperson right away so that they can get one for you. Reviewing the operator's manual is a very important part of starting to operate your new piece of lawn equipment. Your operator's manual contains a lot of valuable information and some key sections. Product identification. This will show you where your serial number is located and your engine serial number if you need that in the future. Safety. This section covers all the safety decals and what they mean. The safety section also outlines the safe operation of your unit, general instructions, what to do before you use your machine, a daily checklist, checking the mowing area, preventing injuries, operating on slopes. There's a diagram to help you determine how big of a slope you should cut on, identifying any terrain hazards, towing safety, and some of the service and maintenance information. Operating controls and operating, we will discuss this more in the video. We will also talk about servicing and troubleshooting. Storage. There's a section that contains the information you need to put away your unit for the winter and what to do to bring it out in the spring. In the back of the manual, it contains all the warranty information specific to your machine. So now that we've talked about the operator's manual, let's do a walk around on a Z300. Today we have a Z355R as an example so that we can see all the controls and everything like that on it. So before we go over the controls, before you start your lawnmower, there's a few things that you should do every time before you do that. The first thing we should do is check the oil. At the back here on the engine, there's a yellow dipstick with a yellow oil can on it. Depending on your model, it could be on the left or the right-hand side, but it's always marked in yellow, and it's a thing you should do every time. Check your oil. It only takes a few seconds just to make sure that everything is good there. Underneath the seat on these machines, there's a really good service interval chart. Shows you all the different hours that you should change everything. There's diagrams for installing a new belt. Just a handy little chart to reference when you want to do some service on your machine. All the Z300s come with anti-scalp wheels on them. Our mechanics set these wheels, but you may need to adjust those depending on how high or how low you're cutting your grass. If you like to cut your grass really low, you may need to lift those wheels up a little bit. You want those wheels just skimming the grass, and if you hit a little knoll, then they'll ride up over the little ridge or something. But if they're running on the ground all the time, you need to lift those up because you're going to wear them out, and that's not how you want to do that. When you're doing your walk around before you start your mower, take a look at your tire pressures. Make sure that they're good. A tire that's low is going to give you an uneven cut. It's going to wear that tire faster. So just give them a real quick check. You don't have to put a gauge on them every time, but just give them a look. Give them a little kick with your foot. Make sure that everything's good like that. Okay? Next thing you want to do, check for debris. Check your mower deck. Check for sticks. Check for pine cones. Check for grass buildup. You want to get that all cleaned out of there so that you're not wearing out a pulley, wearing out a belt, anything like that. So it just takes a minute. Give it a real quick check. Maybe use your leaf blower, blow it out. So after you do your little walk around, let's step onto the mower and go over some of the controls on the zero turn. Okay, we'll start on the right hand side here. We have a throttle with a choke with an orange lever here. We have a PTO switch or deck engage in yellow. We have your ignition switch, which will have a key in it. We have an hour meter. We have your control levers, one on each side. And for your deck lift, we have a foot and hand lift with a little peg to adjust our cut of height. And on the right-hand side, we have an orange parking brake lever. Controls are usually fairly simple on a zero turn. A tractor sometimes will have a few more levers and stuff that you might use. So now that we've gone over that and you want to start your zero turn, first thing you want to do is make sure that the handles are all the way out and that your parking brake is on. If you try to start it with the handles in and the parking brake off, nothing's going to happen. So you want to make sure the handles are out, parking brake is on, We then go over to our throttle, which has the choke all in one switch, so we'll push all the way up for choke. Then we're going to turn our key. The zero turn is going to start. As soon as it starts, we're going to pull the throttle lever back, and it clicks into a little notch at full throttle. So then we're ready to go. So now, once we got it started, we want to drive our machine. First thing we're going to do is turn the parking brake off. If you pull these levers in with the parking brake on, the machine is going to shut off. So turn the parking brake to the off position, pull the levers in. So now we're ready to drive. So all your speed control, your reverse is all on the levers. I always tell people, do the wide open areas first, get comfortable with it. What people tend to do is drive too slow off the start because you're a little bit nervous using it, and you'll find yourself wiggling more because you're going too slow. Once you get more comfortable, you'll pick up the speed a little bit and you'll be doing straight lines and getting in close to the flower beds and everything like that. But it's not uncommon when you first start driving them to find yourself wiggling too much, and that's usually because you're going too slow. So controls on this, basically the farther you push it, the faster you're going to go. Bring them back to center, the unit's going to stop, pull them back, and you're going to go in reverse. To turn it, you're going to push one lever farther forward than the other. If you put one all the way forward, pull one all the way back, you're going to sit here and do a spin in one spot. So it's just something to play with, get used to the controls, and like I said, do the wide open spaces first before you go into the flower beds and wipe all the flowers out. So now that you've played with the controls and we're driving, you want to start the mower deck. Again, it's over on the yellow PTO switch or the mower engage switch. All you do is pull it up and the deck is going to engage. So now our deck is spinning. We want to set our height for our decks. Setting our height is very simple. It's just on this little pin here that you can pull out and put into a different slot. Most people are going to cut it, 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches, something like that. So you set your height, and then you have a foot pedal and a hand pedal or a hand grip here. Push your foot down. Just push the lever a little bit over to the right, and then it'll drop all the way down to where you have it set on the pin. To lift it up, use your foot, use your hand, drops a little bit over to the left, and now we're locked all the way up in the locked position. Turn your deck off. All you're going to do is push the yellow button back down. That shuts your deck off. If you want to get off while the engine is running, what you need to do is put your handles all the way out, put the parking brake on. Now you could get off with the engine running. You can never get off with the deck running, but if you want to get off and move a stick or there's some toys or something like that, now you can get off, leave the engine running, do your stuff and come back. But you do need to have the deck off, the handles out, and the parking brake on. Okay, all our Z300s come with a washout port on it. What you do here is connect this quick coupler to a garden hose. Put it back on the quick coupler, turn the water on, turn your deck on, and let it run for a while. What that's going to do is soak the grass, clean out the deck, and give you a nice clean deck. You want to do this right after you cut. That's the best time to do it, when the grass is still wet, still fresh. One thing to keep in mind is you want to do this in a spot where you're not worried about making a mess. So out behind your garage, out in a field, somewhere like that, because what you're doing is grass is getting wet and it's all going to fall to the ground. So you don't want to do it on your good sidewalk or anything like that. Okay. Another feature on your Z300 is the ability to be able to push it around if you want to without starting it. And you may want to do this if it's in a garage and you just want to move it around a little bit, or if you ran out of fuel somewhere, or heaven forbid it does break down and we need to push it onto a trailer or something. So on each side of this unit at the back are two little levers that we move into that position on each side. What this does is allow the wheels to freewheel, and then we can push it. The only other thing you need to do is release your parking brake, and then we're able to push this unit around. Something to keep in mind too is sometimes I've done it where I've pushed it around and I forget to release those levers. I start the mower and go to drive and nothing happens. Probably what I've done is not put those levers back. So just something to check if that happens to you, that release those levers and then you can drive again. Don't forget to stop into our parts department. We stock wagons, lawn rollers, mulch kits, bumpers, baggers, and service kits for your mower. The next section we're going to look at is servicing your lawn equipment. Located in your operator's manual is a section on service intervals. Your engine oil needs to be changed every 50 hours or annually, whichever comes first. Just sitting over the winter, condensation can occur, and it's a good idea to change that oil in the spring, even if you didn't reach the 50 hours. At 100 hours or annually, items such as your spark plugs, air filter, fuel filter may need replaced, sharpening your blades, and you may need to get your deck re-leveled and check your tire pressures. Regular servicing of your riding lawn equipment is important for protecting and prolonging the life of your equipment. Depending on your conditions, you may need to do some of this maintenance early, such as dusty conditions, large amounts of dandelion seeds, or unplanned debris on your lawn equipment. At Premier Equipment, our service departments can help you with all your service requirements. Participate in our Premier Service Inspection programs, have your mower serviced annually, and take advantage of seasonal specials. Book early and beat the rush. If you're confident in completing your own service, contact our parts department. We stock all the filters and oil you need. Again, thank you for choosing Premier Equipment on your recent lawn equipment purchase. We really appreciate your business. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to your salesperson or your local Premier branch. Thank you for running with us.